Hey, even though this video was filmed like way long ago, like months ago, I am still incredibly stupid and forgot this question right here that asks me what's my opinion on PEDs, and honestly, I don't really have one. Like, I know pretty much nothing about PEDs. I've never touched a PD in my life. I've never seen, I didn't even know what SARMs were until I started watching Greg, right? So I think that if you use them to cheat in sports, you're a piece of shit, especially the sport that I do, because you could literally kill somebody. But aside from that, I know pretty much nothing and don't really care. If you're using them to get a physique or make your physique look unobtainable, it's not really my business. I don't really care. But there are people out there, other YouTubers, who are way more knowledgeable and care way more about this stuff than I do, so look to them for good information. Break It All asks, how does one obtain the body of a boxer? Is it through sheer boxing training, or would one have to weightlift to some degree in order to obtain such a physique? And this is an amazing question. I actually really liked this question when I first saw it, because it allows me to talk about why boxing is the toughest and loneliest sport in the world, and why boxers, well, combat athletes, but again, boxer here, why boxers, in terms of overall physical fitness, are some of, if not the best, the most physically fit in the world. Because no, it is not through sheer boxing training. You have to do it all. I do long distance running for long-term stamina and cardio. I do high-intensity interval training, wind sprints, hill sprints, circuit training. I lift weights to get stronger and build up my body. You have to do a little bit of everything. And that is why I love the sport. It is incredibly difficult because you can't really specialize. You can't get, well, you can, but there are downsides to that. In my opinion, you need to have good stamina for both long-term stamina, especially if you're going into a championship match and you have to survive 12 rounds. That is a marathon, not a sprint. But you have to be able to sprint too, especially with the last 30 seconds, 10 seconds of a round, and you want to finish strong and make it seem like you were the dominant force of that round. That is a sprint. That is high-intensity interval training. That is true HIIT. And then you have to recover really quickly. I can get my breathing and heart rate down from like high intensity interval training. My heart's beating 1,000,000 miles an hour and I'm breathing heavy. I can get my heart rate down from that back down to resting in a minute, because that is all I have. And then obviously you have to, lift weights and build yourself up, because, muscle is good for transferring force, absorbing blows, being strong. So that is what that's about. In order to obtain a boxer's physique, you have to do a little bit of everything and be relatively decent at it. So, good question. That is an amazing question, and I'm really glad you asked that. Abby Young asks, who are my favorite YouTubers? Now, are we talking in terms of fitness? Ooh. I think my dog may have just tripped or something. I don't know if you guys heard that, but whatever. I am going to keep filming. So, Abby Young asks, who are my favorite YouTubers? And my favorite YouTubers, depends on what we're talking about. Really depends, because I watch a lot of YouTube, and I have a wide variety of interests. On my alternate account, I am subscribed to like over 5,000 people. Like, my general rule when it comes to YouTubers is, if I watch 3 or more of your videos, I am clearly interested in your content and I will subscribe. So, are we talking favorite gaming YouTubers, fitness YouTubers, music YouTubers, cover YouTubers? Are we talking movie analysis, literary analysis, musical analysis? I've recently gotten into theater, things like Hamilton and Heather and what's the other one? Be More Chill. So I don't really have favorite YouTubers. There are YouTubers I tend to watch on a fairly regular basis. Obviously, people like Greg Doucette, and, the YouTubers in the anabolic community, Nick, and on all those guys. You already know the ones. But in terms of small YouTubers I like, because I want to shout out a few people. Ashley Evelyn, obviously. Nikki Fitness, Oscar Penaloza, Josh versus Fitness, Dad Lifting. I don't want to really forget anybody. I'm just throwing stuff out off the top of my head. Yeah, there's a lot of up-and-coming YouTubers that I watch that I don't really, I don't really have this favorite YouTuber, so to speak. It's more just I watch a ton of YouTube. Any YouTubers I've mentioned or whatever will be linked in my description, either who have asked a question or anyone that I've shouted out. If I don't shout you out, I'm sorry. It's just, again, I watch so much YouTube and so many people that I can't really say I have a ton of favorite YouTubers. You know, Derek, More Plates, More Dates is one I've been watching a lot recently. I found he's got a lot of interesting stuff to say. Johnny Shreve, again, like all the big YouTubers that you guys like and already know about. So, yeah, that'll be that. Actually, there is one YouTuber I want to shout out in particular, and that's Brendan Gage. I recently watched a video of him that was really interesting about genetic potential, and I think I first found him in a video where he's kind of making fun of the anabolic French toast, and I found it to be really funny. I'll throw him in the description because he's got less than 100 subscribers, and I think he deserves more. So, aside from that, that'll be, that's it for the YouTubers section of this video. TV show recommendations by AltJ, Ashita no Joe. I will also leave a link to where you can watch Ashita no Joe. I wonder if you hear all that creaking. Sorry, people are moving around my house. There's nothing I can do about that. Ashita no Joe. I will leave a link to where you can watch Ashita no Joe in the description. Normally, I do not condone going on any of those sites. However, it is literally impossible to get anything licensed from Ashita no Joe in the West. Believe me, I have tried. So if you want to get the full experience, I will link you where you can watch the series in the description. Please watch it. It is it is my favorite story ever written. Let alone anime, let alone manga, let alone TV show. It is my favorite story ever written, basically because it hits really close to home for me, but I think you guys will like it too. In terms of other things, it's mostly anime recommendations, things like One Piece, My Hero Academia is decent, and you know, all the other ones that people like, but I don't watch a whole lot of TV. Again, I watch mainly YouTubers. Big surprise. Burnout MTB also asks who are my favorite YouTubers are. Same answer. Burnout MTB also asks who my favorite boxer is. Not Muhammad Ali. The Key to Fat Loss asks, Xbox, PS5, or PC Master Race? KF console. Just kidding. So I have a PS4 currently. I would like a PS5, but I am kind of looking into transferring to PC because, one, the price of consoles is going through the freaking roof. If I'm going to pay $600 or $700 for a new console, I may as well just save up, get a PC for like double that or like 2.5 that, and then that'll last me forever, right? And then also a good PC would help a lot in terms of filming YouTube videos, so I'm kind of looking into getting a PC. If you guys have any advice for me on that, feel free to DM it to me on Instagram at OneNotDeadYet1, shameless plug, because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing when it comes to building a PC, and yeah, I will most likely, if I were to do it myself, plug in my microwave and expect it to work. So I do not know, but that is who I am for PC, Master Race, PS5, or Xbox. And now, finally, you've read the title of the video. You've kind of... It's the big question, right? Stefano Kusik on both Instagram and here on YouTube asks, what is my boxing record? And the answer is absolute hot garbage. Give me 1 second. So, this is my boxing passport. What is a boxing passport? It logs all of your fights and tells you how many times you've won, how many times you've lost. It's basically a summary of your career. I counted it and then I forgot, so I'm going to recount right now and let you know how many fights I've won, how many fights I've lost, and how many disqualifications I've had, because I've had a couple. So I have had a total of 26 fights with 1 exhibition, which means that does not count. No winner is declared. And a grand total of 8 wins, 16 losses and one loss by disqualification. So, yeah, my record is hot garbage. Pretty bad. But why is that? And I want to take this moment to kind of give you guys a bit of an idea of the worth of a fighter, because I don't believe that record actually really defines the skill of a fighter. It can be a good indication, but record isn't the only thing. Why do I have such a poor record? Well, a lot of it comes down to unfair judging or close judging. In amateurs, it is incredibly difficult to knock somebody out. You will either TKO the person by giving them 3 standing 8 counts in a round, or you will most likely put them down with a body shot and then they can't continue. KOs are incredibly rare, which means oftentimes things go to decision. And when things go to decision, things are incredibly subjective. A lot of times it's been a coin toss between me and the other guy just happened to get it, which I can't really blame it. If I would have won, it would have been like, okay, like ding. Oh, looks like I won. So it's really just, when it's a close fight, it's a close fight. However, one of the reasons why my record is such garbage is because nobody in the boxing community likes me. I am not very well liked in the boxing community. So every time I would step into the ring, I was never the hometown hero. I would quite literally have to either stop the guy or batter him around the ring for 3 rounds in order to win. And sometimes that wasn't even enough. Sometimes I would be beating the absolute crap out of a guy. He would barely be able to hobble back to his corner by the end of the 3 rounds, and they still give it to him. So, and there's a lot of times where this happens in professional fighting too. The two fighters that come to mind right away are Marvelous Marvin Hagler, believe it or not, had some straight highway robberies in his career, and a man named Emmanuel Augustus, one of the most graceful and amazing boxers you will ever witness. Floyd Mayweather's most difficult fight. And yet, a lot of people didn't like him, so he doesn't have a great record because he got some really, really bad judging. So yes, my record is 24 fights with 8 wins, and 1 exhibition where I neither won nor lost. So, yeah, that's my record. But there is one thing I do want to say when it comes to my record. When I step out of the little community I'm in, I tend to do pretty good. Again, national silver medalist, and when I went to Ringside, which is the world's largest amateur boxing tournament, over 2,000 fighters from all over the world, I made it to the semifinals. So again, not the greatest record in the world, but I tend to do pretty good when I'm getting judged relatively fairly. So, this was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you want more stuff like this, because I'd be happy to do more Q&As in the future. But until those videos come out, I'm not dead yet, and if you aren't either, there is always a tomorrow waiting for you. Okay, there's actually one other thing I forgot, and that was my disqualification. I never actually talked about that. If you guys are interested in hearing about why I got disqualified and the whole story behind that, let me know. It's a really interesting story, and it gives you great insight on how I was treated throughout the entire boxing community, and it shows truly just how corrupt the sport of boxing is. But until next time, see you in the next video.